Friday the 13th Part 2 was released in 1981, directed by Steve Miner in his directorial debut and starring Amy Steele, John Furey, and Steve Dash as Jason Voorhees. Set 5 years after the events of Friday the 13th, the plot again follows a group of camp counselors who arrive at a training camp at Crystal Lake, only to be murdered one by one by Jason Voorhees. I'm gonna say it right now, I feel like Friday the 13th Part 2 doesn't get nearly enough love. We start out the film wrapping up Part 1 with the death of Alice, and I gotta say, the first time that I watched this movie, I was not expecting her to die, especially in the first 10 minutes of the film. And although the kill is cut down, it's still effective. We get introduced to our new group of camp counselors. I find them all to be very likable, especially Amy Steele as Ginny. What I love about her character is that she's both spunky and proactive. We saw that right from the get-go when she calls Paul out on his bullshit to when she goes head-to-head against Jason. And we gotta talk about how badass the late great Steve Dash is. I've always found this version of Jason to be pretty terrifying. And that not only has to do with the physicality of Steve Dash, but also just seeing the emotion in that one eye. As much as I enjoy this film, I can't overlook the fact that the pacing is a bit slower than I feel that it needs to be. Thankfully, the characters are likable, so it's not that big of a deal. And as much as I love most of the endings, specifically Ginny and Jason squaring off, I do feel that the end itself is a little odd. We get that quick shot of Jason bursting through the window and grabbing Ginny, and then all of a sudden we cut to Ginny being wheeled into an ambulance. It feels more like the film stopped rather than ending, and this storyline isn't picked up in any future sequels. But I think ultimately the most disappointing aspect of Part 2 is the kills, which is not the fault of the director, but rather the MPAA, who was super strict during the 80s. Despite that, there are a couple of kills that I do love in this film. Specifically, the wheelchair kill. When old boy goes rolling down those stairs, it's both messed up and hilarious. With all that said, Friday the 13th Part 2 gets an add to the collection. While it's a bummer that the kills are trimmed back quite a bit, and it does have some minor pacing issues, along with an out-of-place ending, I feel that the suspense, the tension, the performances from Amy Steele and Steve Dash, as well as the menacing presence of sackhead Jason, make this film a must for any Friday the 13th fan. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to support the channel even more, check out my Patreon page. Link is down in the description below. Thank you so much for coming by, and I'll see you guys on the next video.